Hello everyone, my name is TV from TV.mx and welcome to my latest reading of one of my essays as well as the context story behind it. Let's begin. How to install family pride. As a young father, I came across so many individuals who despise their family and family name. I found this heartbreaking, like seriously. I had to change that with my daughters. If I could instill a sense of pride in being an Aguirre, then many other lessons would be easier to teach. But how can family pride be installed in your source code? I paid attention to what I saw other families doing, not just famous families, but those in my day-to-day life. They all had one thing in common. They had a strong history of their family's accomplishments. I imagined that they felt a sense of belonging to something great. My daughters needed to feel proud of those that came before them. But as a family, I didn't have many stories to share. My family hadn't accomplished anything of great significance. I was wrong. I just had to become a better storyteller. So I began to write those stories for our family. I started a new tradition of storytelling. I reminded them that they came from a culture that stretches back thousands of years. I shared with them their grandparents' stories and the risks they took to bring us to America. Learned about their struggles and how they survived the new land with little money but a strong work ethic and grit. I told them about how I was the first in our family to learn English, graduate from high school, and why I started my own business to be more involved in their lives. It made them proud to be an Aguirre. We scream our name when we see it on buildings. Instilling and installing this mindset was critical. It's a foundational belief that would serve my babies when they find themselves struggling and doubting themselves. Life does that to all of us. They have a family history that proves that they have come from greatness. They now tell me that they plan on keeping our family name when they marry. Installation complete. That last line or second last line is especially interesting because they tell me this. Now, I'm not gonna hold them to it if they actually change their name to their future partner's name. It's totally up to them. I might be a little resentful, but I won't tell them. But I find that interesting because that means that it's worked, right? That I've installed pride in their family name. I think all pride comes from the feeling of belonging. And I find that a lot of families that are falling apart and have a lot of issues don't have that pride in each other, in their family, in their history. And it's very fascinating to me. So that I figured that if I could do that and do that well and do it at a young enough age to where they knew the story, they knew their story, our story so well that they could tell it as a story, as a superhero story, that it would definitely make an impact. I know my father and my mother told me stories about our family, but there was never a sense of pride. Now, there was other elements to the fact that there was a lack of pride in my family, but I think ultimately it was not enough stories being told about us as a unit, right? And just to kind of give a little more context into the whole screaming the building, here in Dallas, if you're familiar with it or if you're from here, on 635, there used to be this building called the Aguirre Roden Building. And I think it was an architectural firm of some sort, and it was there for years. So as a part of this indoctrination programming, which I talk about a lot, I programmed them, because parenting is programming. Just because you're a father or a mother, it's programming from a parent's point of view, a mother or father's point of view. But every time, we created a tradition that every time we drove by that building, we saw our name, we would scream, Aguirre, as long as possible. And when I say scream, I mean scream. I didn't scream as loud as I could hear because I didn't want to hurt your ears. But it was a tradition we've had for almost 15 years, since the divorce, and I know I mentioned that a lot, but it was something that we had post-divorce. I wanted to install that and it worked. It worked like gangbusters. Every time we passed it, we would scream. It's especially interesting if one of us forgot or if all of us forgot, but one of us, it would startle the others, and it was fun. It was our thing. It became something that connected us even more. Since then, the building has been gone. not been gone, but it's been sold or it went out of business during COVID, I believe. But we still decided to continue our tradition of screaming at that building or in the space of that building as we drive by. We still scream, Aguirre. It's that family unity that I think allows us to create have other important conversations. Because if you don't have a strong connection to each other, having other conversations becomes difficult. It's credibility, it's love, it's compassion, it's knowing that you're part of the same unit and that you have each other's back. Family pride to me is very important. It's unfortunate because some children are born into situations where they weren't necessarily born on purpose or with love and care. And granted, there's a lot of children that are born out of moments, like terrible moments, but they have maybe one parent or someone that loves on them, or maybe they're adopted, whatever it may be, but then they're brought into a family unit and there is some sense of pride. But if there isn't that, and even if you have your biological mother and your biological father, but there isn't this connection to them, they have no real love, compassion, care, then there obviously will be a disconnection. Everything will be difficult. Parenting them will be difficult. I find that having family pride as part of the source code to our family, to our relationship, allows us to be able to have tough conversations because the others understand that it comes from a place of love, because we truly believe that we are there for each other, one for one. What's that whole Three Musketeers, one for one, all for one kind of thing? Because at the end of the day, family, yes, is biological, but you might just be born into a family accidentally. Well, actually, it is kind of that way. But if you don't have that, then it's just blood because you're born into it. But if you have no relationship, no connection, then it doesn't matter. Yes, she's your mother, but if your mother is a piece of crap or your father is a piece of crap, then you're not going to respect them, more than likely. So it's important for me that they know that as a unit, we have each other's back, and as a unit, we believe in each other, and we have pride in our family name. That was the context behind this story and the lesson that I tried to impart on them throughout the years. Even now, there's other buildings that have our name, which is crazy. We go out of our way to kind of scream that. And I will say, like many of the other little traditions, rituals that we do, I've been nervous that as the years progress, they would inevitably get tired of them, be annoyed by them. So I'll check in sometimes just to see where they're at, if they still want to do this. I'm like, hey girls, what do you think? You find it annoying? And they inevitably, with all of them, have said, no, Dad, like let's continue doing them. We enjoy them, we love them, it's fun. And as a father that, started some of these things way back when they were little kids, little girls, it makes me very proud. The installation is complete, they get it, they love it, and they're gonna continue to do it as they get older and as they start their own families. And that makes me happy. That is the lesson for today. If you can do that for yourself, your family, your kids, create some family rituals. It may not be this, but something that connects you, man, do it. Do it for yourself, do it for them. It's fun. It's cool. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, like me on Facebook, subscribe to my podcast if you haven't already, or if you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Subscribe, leave me a review. It really would mean a lot. And let me know what your thoughts, what your experiences have been as you've created your own family rituals. Do you have some? What are they? We'd love to hear about them. Maybe I can learn something from you, because that's something that I really am excited about, is to get to know you and maybe pick up some ideas from you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. And until next time, bye-bye.